Welcome to this Proteus version 8 movie. In this movie we're going to be looking at the process called panelization. Panelization refers to the process of combining the artwork from several printed circuit boards onto one panel in order to decrease the manufacturing cost. It's a common practice to panelize both multiple copies of the same board and/or different printed circuit boards. In this movie we're going to be using the sample design PPSU as it already has a schematic and a printed circuit board for us to use. To start the process, we'll first need to generate the Gerber files that are going to be incorporated into our panel. To do that, we go to the Output menu of Aries, down to Generate Gerber Files, and select OK. After it's completed generating the Gerber files, we're given the option to open the Gerber viewer. If we select OK, we are now looking at the Gerber files, and we have a new tab called Gerber Viewer. At this point, it is now necessary to close this project and open the Gerber Viewer. We'll now import the files that we're going to be using. And it's important that we select the panelization mode at the bottom of this screen. For the purposes of this video, we'll only make a couple of copies of our circuit board. First, we would need to select our board by pulling a box all the way around the outside of it. The board is now highlighted along with all the traces and the components. We'll now use the block copy command in order to make multiple copies of our board. If we had additional circuit boards that we wanted to include in this particular panel, we would bring in their Gerber files using the File command and the Open CAD/CAM files. We would now need to define the board size. We could either do this on the Technology menu using the Set Board Properties, or we could go ahead and define the board edge on our panel. To define our board edge, we would simply zoom out on our panel, go to our 2D graphics, select board edge, and put a board edge all the way around the panel. This will now define the board size for the manufacturer. We would now need to generate the Gerber files to send to the fab house. To do that, we go to the Output menu, select Generate Gerber Files, give it a name, and select OK. The Gerber viewer has now opened, and we are looking at the files that will be used to create our panel. You cannot panelize a board while the project is open. A Proteus project is a representation of a single board: schematic, layout, 3D visualization, bill of materials, etc. And a panel is clearly a representation of more than one board. Make sure you close the current project before you enter the Gerber viewer in order to panelize a board. It should be noted that you can add text and graphics to your panel as required in order to give your board an ID and manufacturing information. If you are panelizing large boards or boards that have multiple power planes, the resulting files can be quite large. However, because the files are ASCII in nature, you can use one of many zip programs in order to reduce the file size before sending to the fab house. Please consult the Proteus version 8 help files for information with regards to boards that contain blind or buried vias.